Good afternoon. I'm Mark, the CEO of Talon Drone Services, and we wanted to take a moment of your time just to kind of explain what it is, what services we provide when we are hired to do a property shoot. So the first thing we do is we get the four corners of the property from our clients, and then we plot those onto Google Maps, and we will zoom into that property, and essentially we would create a pre-flight plan. We mark all the directions that we're going to fly, how, which angle to take a property shoot of, things like that, everything pre-planned. We also check with the FAA to make sure that the property doesn't sit inside of any sort of restricted airspace, to where we have to get authorization or anything like that. And then we check to make sure that the weather for the day of the shoot is as close to perfect as it can be. Sometimes we may need to move a shoot back a little ways because of weather. Obviously something we can't control, but we try to stay on top of it, because if there's two things that drones don't like, it's moisture and wind. Now, while you can play with the wind a little bit, if it's raining or anything like that, you're not going to fly in that, because it'll destroy the drone, and that's a lot of money. So speaking of drones, our drone fleet consists of the new DJI Mavic Pro 3 Cine, which is their flagship drone. This drone is capable of shooting in 5.1K and even Apple ProRes. Now, Apple ProRes is not something that you can do streaming. This would have to be something you put onto a Blu-ray or DVD or something like that. The files are just too big to, you couldn't even put that on YouTube. But another thing that this drone is able to do, we're able to record a 360-degree panoramic, it's hard to explain, spherical video that is interactive, that can be uploaded to YouTube. That this is extra. This isn't something we normally do, and also 360-degree panoramic photos, which can go on like Facebook or something like that. But we are capable of shooting that, and those are really cool, because when you sit in the middle of a property, the customer is able to tilt the camera, spin it around 360 degrees, look up, look down, basically checking out the property from all sorts of different angles, and it's all interactive. So they're not watching just a video go by; they can actually manipulate the video while while they're looking at the property. Same thing with the photo. So the first thing we do is we head out to the property nice and early. Sun is nice, everything's good. As we're going down the main avenue of getting there, highway, when we're about a mile from the exit on that highway, we'll pull over and we will set up our action camera, which is vehicle mounted, and we will start recording in 4K time lapse from that point on all the way until we get to the property. So that's the first video we shoot. It's a directions video, 4K time lapse. Then once we get onto the property, we set up the four corners of the property, mark those with 3.5 or 3.5, 3 by 5 foot, 3 foot by 5 foot flags, yellow flags, so that we can see those with the drone, marking the corners of the property, and then mark the middle of the property, and then we start shooting ground photos from the corners, as well as the center, and then interesting shots, wildlife, whatever the case might be, with the ground camera. The aerial footage will do the pre-planned things as much as possible. If things need to be changed, we do that. And once all the shooting is done, depending on if the client wanted the 360-degree photo as well, we would set that up and shoot those images as well, because that's a totally separate video. It has to be shot separately, and it has to be rendered separately. It's an additional video that is something that the client can choose to order on top of their normal the normal service that we do. Same with the 360-degree panoramic photo that you can put on like Facebook or something like that. So once everything is done being shot, we would then come back to our home base, and we upload all the footage to our Macintosh, our iMac, and we will do all the color correcting and color grading of all the photos that we're using within our videos. And then the first video we actually edit is our directions video. And so we will we work with the client to get their company logo and either turn it into something that we can use inside Adobe, or they have the files already and we just work with the original files. We use Adobe Creative Suite for all of our editing. So Adobe Photoshop, Lightroom, Adobe Premiere Pro, these are all 2022, and Adobe Premiere Pro running cinema grade software within it. And so the directions video starts off, it'll have the client's company logo, and then what the directions video is of, and then the title of that, and then the video itself has animated text letting you know how far to go, where to turn, things like that. The company logo will show up in one of the corners throughout the video, here and there, fade in, fade out, and then at the very end, the out credit is basically the client's logo with information on how the viewer can contact them. So once that's done, we upload it to our secure Dropbox. We let the client know it's there so that they can get it. Then the next thing we do is we start working on the actual commercial. This is a 1.5 to 2.5 minute long property commercial, complete with music. The intro is a cinematic intro of some sort with the company, with the client's logo, explanation or a title of what it is they're watching, and then the property with boundary lines in and out, so the client or the customer can see the entire property, and then the different angles, shots and things like that throughout the video. And then we, by default, we add animated text saying, that viewing from southeast corner towards the west, or whatever the case might be, so that the person watching the video has some semblance of knowing which direction they're looking at, rather than just watching a video that just has, you're seeing different views, but you have no clue which way you're actually looking at. So we do that by default. Now some clients may have asked us that they didn't want it, or told us that they didn't want any text in there. That's fine. But by default, we actually, put all of the text in there. And so the video from the intro to the end credits is all edited. Once it's all done, we upload it to our secure Dropbox, let the client know. They get it and they review it. And then they decide if they want to make any changes or if they like it, whatever the case might be. Once everything is good, that they're happy with what they've, what we've done, because that's our number one goal, is to make sure that our clients are are happy with their, they want, uh, they're absolutely happy with what we're giving them. That is our number one goal, is to make sure that they're absolutely satisfied. So we go back and forth until they are absolutely satisfied with that. Then we add the music, because there's no sense in keep editing a video and stripping music out each time. So we upload the video with the music. Client once again reviews it, says, "Yep, I love the music. It's inspirational," or "Nope, I just doesn't do it for me. Let's try something else." So we do that until they're happy. So then we upload. Once they're happy with it, we upload all the photos, all the edited footage of photos, and then also the photos that aren't something for marketing, which are like, we got pictures of trash or things like that on the property, squatters, which has happened, RV sitting there with, on blocks with no tires, which has happened, something that looks like a burnt down building where somebody was maybe doing some illegal stuff with a bunch of pills, has happened. And so that this way the client can, get rid of all that before a customer buys the property, or whatever the case might be. So all the photos get uploaded so that you can use them for marketing and to let you know what's on the property. And the final thing we do is a write-up of the property. So, telling where it is, things about the property, what kind of vegetation is on the property, how are the slopes, does it look like there's water that comes through the property, what's the soil like, is it soft and loose, shale, or is it compact, hard clay, lots of rock, boulders, things like that. And wildlife is really important. We try to actually capture wildlife out on the property as often as possible. Obviously, it doesn't always work, but we have captured, footage of eagles, coyotes, antelope, deer. In San Luis Valley, we've gotten wild horses on the property. Absolutely amazing. But it doesn't always work out that way. So if we can't get footage of the actual animals, we try to get the signs that they're there, tracks, burrows, scat, scratches on trees, feathers, things like that. And then we research what wildlife is in the area, and we let the client know that as well. So that way they know that, there are badgers in this area, or there are mountain lions, or, bear, or things like that. And then the final thing we add with that is we let the client know what cities or attractions are close to the property. So, the town of Pueblo is, 25 miles, or Trinidad is 25 miles, or, Great Sand Dunes National Park is 30 miles from here. Things like that, so that the client can let the potential customer know that, this property is within, so many miles of this. So I hope I explained what we do. It's a lot, I know, and I'm not used to talking to a camera like this. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this. And our goal is to have our clients be our forever clients. And so thank you. And if you want to contact us, it's talondroneservices.com. And from there you can either message us, email us, you can go through our Facebook, or anything like that. Thank you so much for watching this video, and have a blessed day.